Good day, greetings students. I'm very happy to meet you in class 11 business studies. In the previous video session, we were discussing about partners and types of partners, right? So we are in chapter 2, which is forms of business organization. Already we have discussed about sole proprietorship and joint Hindu family business. Now we are discussing about the third form of business organization, which is called the partnership form of business organization. What is partnership? Individuals who come together and bind themselves according to a legal document or a legal agreement which lets them to share profits and losses of a particular business form is called as partnership form of business organization, and it is governed by Indian Partnership Act 1932. Yesterday we have discussed about the types of partners. We have discussed already the features, merits and limitations of partners. Now we are discussing about the types of partners. So this is in a single way, a single page to commence or understand the entire concept about the types of partners. So what are the various types of partners we have? We have the active partner, sleeping or dormant partner. What is the other name? Sleeping or dormant partner. Then we have a secret partner, nominal partner, partner by estoppel. Estoppel means what? Bound by a legal law of equity. Then comes partner by holding out. Right, these are the various kinds of or various types of partners. Now what we are going to discuss, we are going to compare them on the basis of their capital contribution, their participation in the management, and the share in profit or loss, and the liability that they are supposed to suffer or they are supposed to bear. Alright, that is what we are going to refer. Now active partner, what is the importance about active partner? He or she only majorly contributes towards the management. He or she actively participates in the day-to-day business activity, and hence of course there is a capital contribution. We contribute the capital. An active partner should contribute the capital. And management, how does he participate? He actively participates. Okay, not just simply, he or she actively participates. And then share in profit and loss. Yes, of course they share in the profit or loss of the business organization. Liability is unlimited. Okay, the liability for an active partner is always said to be unlimited. What is an unlimited liability? When even the personal assets will be utilized for covering up the debts or the losses of the organization, then we say that it is an unlimited liability. Right. The next sort of which type of partner is called as a sleeping partner. The other name of sleeping partner is dormant partner. Of course, he or she shares or contributes towards the capital, invests something in the business. But does he or she participates in the business activities? No, they don't actively participate or they don't participate at all. And then share profit and loss is there. Since they have invested capital, of course, invested in the capital, profit and loss will be shared. But the liability is of course unlimited. As a partner of the firm, the liability that a sleeping or a dormant partner faces is unlimited. Right? Next we have secret partner. Now what is important about a secret partner? He is a partner of the organization but does not let it known to other people. So if he is a partner, it's not mentioned much in detail. Okay, they will not be publicly calling him as a partner. He is a secret partner, and thus all his activities are mostly secret. Right? Like the capital investment is there, they will be contributing towards the capital, and management they participate but secretly because others should not know. So the participation in management is secret. So we say it as secret participation. Profit and loss, yes, of course they can share the profit and loss. And liability is, even though they are secret, it is unlimited liability because when the company is dissolved and people come to know that they are also a partner of this particular organization or firm, they will be bound to cover up the cost or repay the debts. That's why the liability Limited. Nominal partner. Nominal means what? For their name, for their goodwill. Their name will be used with your company as a partner, but they will not be contributing towards your capital. There is no need that they will be contributing. They are just letting you to use their name. Okay? And management, they don't participate in the management. Generally, most of the time they don't share profit or loss. Okay, because they are just giving you a name. Maybe for that you would be giving them a remuneration like a salary, but you will not be giving them a share. It is based on the partnership firm or partnership agreement that you and the nominal partner have framed. It depends on each nominal partner. Some may say that it's okay if you give me a salary. Some may ask share in profit or loss. It's based on the organization, but generally maximum times this only happens. But liability, of course, is unlimited, because as you are named, the others, they also will know that you are a partner. As a partner of the organization, of course, you are supposed to bear the liability of the organization. So the liability is unlimited for the nominal partner also. Partner by estoppel. Estoppel, we saw that it is a legal law of equity. How? You just accompany someone. Accompany means what? Go with. Accompany someone with accompany a partner to a meeting, you contribute something towards the decision making, and because of your contribution or your idea, something happens in the organization, positive or negative impact, will make you a partner by estoppel. People will think you as a partner because your idea or your contribution has done something towards the organization, positively or negatively. That is why we call it partner by estoppel. You are bound by the legal law there. They don't invest anything to the capital. They don't participate in the management. One or the other day they would have given some suggestion. That's it. No share in profit or loss. And liability is unlimited. Why? Because people have thought you as their partner, and thus it becomes unlimited. Okay? Whatever type of partner you are, your liability is always said to be unlimited only. Then finally we have partner by holding out. What is partner by holding out? They have named you as a partner and you know it to, you did not deny it. You did not refuse it. You did not announce that you are not a partner of that particular organization, then you are called as partner by holding out. Holding out means what? Holding out yourself, not letting it go, not saying it out that I am not a partner. When people think that you are a partner of an organization, you just keep quiet. You should have refused it. If you don't refuse it, people consider you as a partner and you become a partner by holding out. You don't have to contribute anything towards the capital. Capital contribution is not there. Participation as management is also not there. Profit and loss also will not be shared. But liability becomes unlimited. Why? Because if you did not want to face the liability, you should have refused. The moment you did not refuse and the moment you became partner by holding out, your liability becomes what? Unlimited. So we have discussed 6 types of partners, but still out of all this 6, we have come to know that the liability remains unlimited for all kinds of partners. For any type of partner, the liability is unlimited. So these are the various types of partners we have. We have active partner, sleeping or dormant partner, secret partner, nominal partner, partner by estoppel, partner by holding out. Secret partner means he or she will be a partner in the organization, but in a secretive manner. They will take part in the management in a secretive manner. Okay, they will contribute to the capital, they will share profit or loss, but participation will be secretive. Whereas nominal partner will not contribute towards the capital. He or she will just let you use their name, their goodwill as a part of your organization. They generally don't share profit or loss, but they might be getting something like a salary. Okay, these are the type of partners. Apart from that, there is one more partner who is called a minor partner. Minors means under the age of 18. Right. So in joint Hindu family, what did we discuss? We discussed that a partner becomes, a person becomes a co-partner just by the birth. They get the membership in the business just when they are born. Even when they are a child, they are born. It's just only 3 generations should be there. If you are within the 3 generations, then of course you are also a co-partner. Minor partner is actually not it's not suggested. Minor partnership is not suggested, but sometimes they will accept. All the other partners, if they accept, then a minor can be allowed as a partner. In what case? For example, you had a senior partner, he or she has passed away. Okay, you had so much affection on that senior person. So what you do? You make their son or daughter as a partner to show your gratitude. You make their son or daughter as a partner, even though they are a minor. So what happens there? There also you can allow them. It's based on your partnership agreement. The agreement la and the minor and the partner name panna ella partners ஒத்துக்கிட்டா அந்த minor நம்ம partner name பண்ணலாம். அப்ப அவங்களோட liability வந்து limited ஆ இருக்கும். But once the person becomes major, okay, when they attain the major age, when they become major, it's their decision. மைனராக இருக்கிற வரைக்கும் நீங்கள் டிசைட் பண்ணுவீங்க அவங்க பார்ட்னராக இருக்கணும், அவங்களுக்கு எவ்வளோ வந்து ப்ராஃபிட் ஆர் லாஸ் கொடுக்கலாமா வேண்டாமா, லயபிலிட்டி என்ன இருக்கணும், all of the decision of the other partners. But once a person comes off as minority, when he becomes a major, then it is the person's decision. அந்த பார்ட்னர்ஷிப் அவங்க கண்டினியூ பண்ணணுமா, எவ்வளோ கேபிட்டல் இன்வெஸ்ட் பண்ணணும். From then the liability becomes unlimited. Clear? So in joint Hindu family, the minor members are even allowed to be co-partners. How? Just because they are born in the family, they are also called as co-partners. But here, minor partners are very few to find. Okay, it's not much. It's very few to find. Just to show your gratitude or out of some affection, you will make a minor as a partner. Till they are minors, their liability will be limited. But whereas once they attain their majority, they will be asked. It is their choice to continue as a partner or just get out of the partnership. Clear? These are the various types of partners. Next we will discuss about the types of partnership. So if you just go through this table, it is enough for you to understand each type of partners. How? So when you talk about active partner, you can simply say that an active partner contributes in capital, he or she actively participates in the management, an active partner has a right to share the profit or loss, and he or she has an unlimited liability. When you take sleeping or dormant partner, a sleeping or a dormant partner also contributes towards the capital, but he or she will not participate actively in the management, but the sleeping partner will share profit or loss, and then the liability is unlimited. Just like that, if you take each type of partner, you will be able to tell the important points about each partner if you just have this one table. So once you finish studying about types of partner, don't copy this. You just sit and make your own table with your understanding. Okay, this is not a table that is in your book. Or I don't want a table that I have drawn. I want you to put your own table of your understanding. You can even change things. Instead of capital, you can put capital contribution or investment. Okay. Instead of management, you can put an involvement in business. Okay. Instead of sharing profit and loss, bearing risk, you can have. Liability does not change. It's unlimited for everyone. Clear? And there is no point that you have to put it in the same order. It is your wish. You can have it in any order. You have that freedom, but I want you to make your own table. After understanding types of partner, I want you to make your own table of your understanding so that it stays in your mind forever. Okay? As I always say, don't study anything in exam point of view. Study it in a broader sense. Then you can use it for exam also. Once keep in mind, understand the topic, watch the videos again and again and again till you understand. Just don't do it for work's sake. Right, children? So we are going to go to the next topic, which is going to be types of partnership. Now, what we have discussed previously, we have discussed about types of partners. Next thing is types of partnership. It's a difference. Partners are the people. Partnership is the group. Partners means people, individual. Partnership means group. So, partnership. What are we discussing? We are discussing the types of partnership. Okay. So again, partnership is also divided into two. Based on two, we have the division. Okay, on the basis of two different things, we are going to divide the partnership. Right? There are different kinds. Now, on the basis of duration. Duration means what? Time. Okay, on the basis of duration means time. Next one is on the basis of liability. Basis of liability. We know that it is unlimited, but why do we still say it is liability? Because there is a difference here. That's why we are calling it in a different way. So on the basis of duration, we have partnership at will. Then we have particular partnership. Alright? Partnership at will and particular partnership. When it comes for liability, again it is subdivided into two. One is called as general partnership and limited partnership. Okay. So we have divided, or we have various types of partnership. It is divided on the basis of two different factors. One is called as duration. Duration means what? Time. Another one is on the basis of liability. Okay. On the basis of duration, we have two again: partnership at will and particular partnership. Now, partnership at will. Will means what? Desire, our own thoughts, our own interests, our own wishes. Now, partnership at will means when the partners come together and they say that we will be partners for one particular duration. We will have a particular time limit for 1 year or 2 years or 3 years or 4 years or 5 years. Let's say a wish. All the partners will agree that they will run the business organization, or they will have the partnership going on till 5 years or 6 years. Means that is called partnership at will. A particular duration will be given. Okay? So, the duration will be mentioned in the partnership deed. Okay, they will mention that it can go for a particular time. But after 5 years, they think that okay, fine, this group is going on well, we all have understood each other very well. What can we do? If they want to continue it, of course they can continue it. Okay, it exists at the will of the partners. If they want to have it for a particular time, yes, they can have it. Or else if they want to have it as long as they all wanted or extend it, they can extend it. And sometimes one or the other partner wants to withdraw from the partnership, he or she can give a notice and withdraw from the partnership or close the entire firm. It's their wish. At will means what? At their own wish. They can have the business for 2 years, or they want to extend it for 5 years, they can do it. They want to close it all of a sudden, of course they can do. Or one or the other partner wants to leave the organization, yes, they can do it. That's why we call it partnership at will, and the registration of it is not that compulsory. Okay. Next we have particular partnership. When we talk about particular partnership, they come together or they form this partnership to complete one certain activity. Okay, they come together to work on or to complete a certain activity, then it is called as particular partnership. Only for that particular reason they have come. For example, when they want to take a tender or when they want to construct a road, when they want to attain a particular place in the industry, they come together. Okay, this is our aim. Once that objective is achieved, once that activity is completed, then the partnership firm dissolves. Okay, they can close it. So particular partnership means what? For a particular purpose, for completion of an activity only they will come together. That is called as particular partnership. Clear? That is called particular partnership, and once that activity or once the purpose is attained, then the partnership comes to an end, it is dissolved, it expires. Or even at times the activity, even though activity is not completed, the time duration within 2 years, they will have an aim, right? Within 2 years we have to construct this road or we have to construct this particular building. Okay. So they have either they can construct the building and dissolve it, or 2 years are over, so we are dissolving. It's their wish. Again, particular partnership means what? For a general purpose, mostly for a general purpose they come together. Okay, to attain that particular purpose. If they complete that purpose or if they attain their objective, then the partnership firm comes to an end and the partnership dissolves. So on the basis of duration there are two. Okay, one is at will, another one is particular partnership. Even though when we say that certain activity, they all know partners எல்லாரும் decide பண்ணிருப்பாங்க இந்த activity இந்த duration குள்ள முடிக்கணும். So that is why it falls under the topic of duration. Clear, children? So we have two partnership at will. That is their own wish. They can close it, they can extend it, they can withdraw their own interest. It's their wish. Particular partnership means they come together for a certain activity. Once the purpose is attained, they can dissolve, or once the duration is over, they can dissolve their partnership. That's it. Now, on the basis of liability, so we know that it is unlimited liability. Here even the liability is joint. Everybody has a liability. All the partners have a liability, and of course it is unlimited. Okay. It is unlimited, and what else? The registration is optional. Optional registration. We are going to discuss in detail why this registration of firm or partnership firm is essential. That we will be discussing in this session. But still, in general partnership, it is optional to register your firm or not register your firm. And here even we have different types of partners also. Okay, but the liability is important. The liability of partners is unlimited and joint. Everybody has an equal liability, equal share in the liability. They'll have a contract binding them about their liability and how they have to repay their debts and everything. Management also will be together. Like everybody will be having a right to participate in the management. It is not like active partner, sleeping partner and all those things. All of them will work as active partners. Everybody has a right to participate, but it is their own wish. If they think that one partner is taking a good decision, I want to give way for him, it's their wish. But they have the right. Each and every partner has a right to participate in the management, has a right to participate in decision making, has a right to comment on anything about the business. Okay, the registration is optional. The existence of the firm is of course affected by the death or insolvency or retirement of a particular partner, of any one partner. One more thing is limited partnership. What is limited partnership? It came into existence only after 1991. Okay, it came into existence only after 1991 through the small enterprise policy. That is, partners can enter the partnership with a limited liability. That is the important thing here. Because they observed that many people were not opting for called partnership form of business. Why? Because unlimited liability. You can be any sort of partner, any type of partner, but the liability stays to be unlimited and they did not want to go with it. Okay, so what happened? People were not investing much in partnership firms. That's why this small enterprise policy was brought into new small enterprise policy was brought into existence from 1991. According to that, people can enter the partnership firm with a limited liability. That is, one important partner will have unlimited liability. The senior most or the most important, that's their choice. The most important partner will have unlimited liability, whereas the other partner will be limited liability. Okay, the main person can invest more capital when he or she wants to invite his friends or relatives towards the partnership firm. Then they can offer, okay, I'll give you a place in my partnership firm, you can become my partner and you will have limited liability. So based on that, they will invest the capital, because the one partner might have the ideas and how to do it and all those things, the interest to run the firm, but the problem is capital, finance. We already know that they don't have transparent financial accounts, so that they might not get financial resources. When they have friends and relatives, they can invite them to be their partners with limited liabilities, right? But what about the management? Will the limited partners get the right for management? No. The partner with the unlimited liability only will have the right in management decisions. He or she will make the management decisions. What is the work of the limited partners? To just invest capital. Okay, and wait for a small share of profit or loss. And registration is better here. Don't you think so? If the registration is there, then of course we can file a case or you can make it legal, because nothing is, everything goes on goodwill here. So it's better to have it in a legal format. That's why we are going to discuss the next topic, which is called the partnership deed. Okay, we have from the beginning of the topic of partnership, we are discussing an agreement, a legal document. What is that? It is actually called the partnership deed. Okay, so what are the types of partnership? We have two classifications on the basis of duration and on the basis of liability. On the basis of duration, again it is subdivided into partnership at will. That is, it's their own wish. The duration can be decided by them. And particular partnership, they come together for a certain purpose or an activity. Once that activity or purpose is completed, they'll dissolve the partnership firm. Then we have, on the basis of liability, we have general partnership and limited partnership. General partnership means joint, unlimited and optional registration. The liability is joint and unlimited for all the partners. Everybody has a right to take part in the management decisions. Whereas limited partnership, it came into existence only after 1991. It was brought by the new small enterprise policy of 1991. Why? To invite the friends or relatives of the partners to invest. And what is the important characteristic here? Only one partner, at least one partner will have unlimited liability, whereas the other partners will get the choice of a limited liability, because people were scared about the liability only. Right? Why they did not enter it? Because of the unlimited liability. Something goes wrong, I have to give my own money also, my own asset also to repay the debt. That is why they brought in this format where partners were invited to invest something with a limited liability, so that the partnership form of business organization will grow. Every kind of partnership firms, everything we have discussed. But what binds them together is a legal document, is an agreement. So what binds them together is a deed that is called as partnership deed. A legal document which is called the partnership deed. That is what we are going to discuss next. Any sort of partnership firm or any type of partner needs to be placed in this partnership deed, because it has lots of benefits and it is essential for us to register our firm also. This legal document provides the rules, regulations and responsibilities that has to be followed partnership deed is called the legal document or the agreement that you have. Okay, it is given in writing so that you have a clear-cut idea of what is happening in the partnership deed. Why do we need it? Because unlike sole proprietorship and joint only family, people who come together to do the business are individuals. We don't know who might change at any point of time. So that is why it is essential for us to know why we have come together as partners, what are our common objectives, what is the capital that we are going to invest, each one of us, what are our roles and responsibilities, how much percentage of profit and loss will be shared among each other. Everything has to be put in writing and in a clear format so that it does not, we had a limitation called possibility of conflicts. Right, so when a decision making comes, of course, they all are individuals and there is a possibility of conflicts. To avoid conflicts and for a smoother running of the business only, we need a deed that is called as partnership deed. Right, here only we make sure that there is no misjudgment or misunderstanding where it leads to the termination of the partnership, because we know that even if one partner comes out or gives a notice to leave the partnership firm, then the partnership deed comes to an end and they all have to start afresh. That is why, to avoid all these things, it is essential for a firm to have a written legal document which is called as a partnership deed. Okay, it is formally a legal document and it is properly registered also, and it should specify the terms and conditions that has to be followed by each and every partner of the firm. But what are the points that should be in a partnership deed? Of course, we are saying legal document, agreement, again and again we are having this term. Here on we are going to refer to it as partnership deed. But what should be in a partnership deed? What are the points that are covered in a partnership deed is what we are going to discuss next. First thing, name of the firm. Okay, what is the firm going to be called? Okay, next, nature and location of business, like the address, right, where your main premises are going to work. What is your office address? If you have a godown, what is the address of it? If you have a warehouse, what is the address? What is the nature of your business? Because we have different sorts of business. Is it going to be a primary industry or tertiary or trade or commerce, anything? So what is the nature? What are going to be the objectives? What kind of products are going to sell? All these are going to be in your partnership deed. And then you have your duration of business. For example, we discussed about what sort of partnership was it called? Partnership at will or as general partnership. So you are going to talk about the duration of the business. Okay, how long you are going to continue with this particular business. That's why we call it the duration of the business. And then the capital or the investment that is given by each partner. Capital contribution of every partner will be mentioned. Why do we want to know it? And only we will be able to know their percentage of share, okay, in profit or loss or in management or anything. Okay, then comes their duties and responsibilities. So one will be in charge of production, one might be in charge of finance, marketing. So their duties and responsibilities, that is of each partner will be mentioned. Common duties and responsibilities as well as the individual duties and responsibilities of each partner, and then their salaries, profit or loss, or sometimes salaries, because we saw about nominal partner. A nominal partner might get a salary. So salaries, what are the conditions for that? Okay, if they want to take some money from the organization, what are the conditions for it? Salaries or withdrawals. They can withdraw from their capital, right? Withdrawals, and then their share in profit or loss. the interest rates, because when you have invested something, you get interest. In accountancy you would have studied, for the investment that you have made, every year you will get some interest. Okay, it's just like a liability, just like a debt, right? So what is the interest rate that you will be getting? And if you are drawn some money from the organization, what is the interest you are supposed to pay? So the interest rates also will be here. Interest on capital as well as interest on drawings, both will be put up there. And then retirement. If the organization has to be dissolved, what are the conditions? Closure, conditions regarding the closure also will be mentioned in your partnership deed. And then what sorts of accounts you have to maintain, tax, all those what you have to pay, all the details, PAN details, Aadhaar details. Nowadays even Aadhaar details are put up in partnership deeds. Okay, and then if you have a problem, who is the final authority? Okay, solving disputes. How do you solve disputes, problems? Okay. So what are the various things that you can find in a partnership deed? Partnership deed is a legal document or an agreement that is in a written copy, which says about the important things that has to be followed by each and every partner, that is used actually to avoid misunderstanding or a problem in the organization. It serves like a memorandum which helps us to recall or to know what happens or what happened in the organization. It helps in decision making also, because based on the capital they have invested, you can take a decision. So name of the firm will be there, nature and location of the firm business will be there, duration for how long you have to continue your business will be there, then the capital, each partner how much capital he or she has invested in the business will be there, then each person's duties and obligations, responsibilities, the objectives of the firm will be there. Okay. And then we have salaries or withdrawals, how much amount will be paid as each one's salary or withdrawal will be mentioned. And then profit or loss, distribution in profit or loss will be mentioned. And then we have interest rates. What will be the interest rates for the capital as well as drawings? When you have invested some capital, of course you will be getting some interest. Okay. And when you have drawn some money, then you will have to pay the interest for that. And then the closure, when you are going to dissolve your business, what would be the conditions for the closure? Then comes method of solving disputes. Okay, method of solving disputes means if you have a problem, who will be the final deciding authority? What are the important points to take a decision? How to sort out the decision? We go for a legal format, or we will talk within ourselves and decide what to happen. All those things. How to maintain your accounts? Okay. What would be the tax that you have to pay? Who will be auditing your accounts? Everything will be mentioned in your partnership deed. Alright, so thus a partnership deed plays a very, very important role in what? In any partnership form of business. We saw various types of partnership, right? So whatever type of partnership it is essential for you to have a partnership deed. Clear? Next we are going to talk about registration. We saw that somewhere registration is optional, somewhere registration is compulsory. What is registration? Why do we have to have it? Is it essential for us to register our firm? Is the next topic that we are going to decide. Registration means what? We will register the name of the firm in the proper register of companies. There will be a register, right? For company. What are the companies that are in Naval? Means if you go and ask the right person, if you ask the registrar of the company, he or she will be able to tell you that whether the company is registered company or not registered company. Have you seen this symbol registered? Okay, then you have limiteds, private limited. Okay, those are all registered companies. Why is it essential? essential for you to register your company, and how or what is the process of registration is the next topic that we are going to discuss. So we are going to discuss the terms like register and registrar or registrar. Okay, register is the verb, that is the work you are going to do, that is the process that you are going to do, and registrar is a person. Okay, the authority to whom you have to register the firm. Okay, that is called as register. So that is why we have to know the difference between register and registrar. Register is the process or the book in which the firm is mentioned, and registrar is the person who does that, who is the authoritative person to do that. Clear? Why register your firm? Okay. Why to register your firm? If you register your firm only, then it is legally mentioned, okay, that such a firm is working in that particular business place. But if you have not registered, you have to face some problems. Like what? If you don't register, you cannot file a case, okay, especially when you want to take some legal actions, it won't be possible. Filing cases will not be possible. Filing cases against whom? Against a partner. Okay? I am a partner. I want to register a case against another partner. But if my partnership firm is not registered, then I will not be able to file it. And then when the firm wants to file a case against a partner, okay, when once you register the firm, it will become a separate person, right? So the firm cannot register a complaint against the partner, or a partner cannot register a complaint against the firm. As a partner, when you feel that the firm has cheated you, it did not give you the proper share of profit or loss, if you want to file a case against the firm, you can't do it. Why? Because your firm is not registered. When you are not registered, when your firm is not registered, you cannot go for any legal proceedings. That is why we say that it is essential. And your firm against another firm. Okay, you have supplied your goods to one more person, but he or she did not repay you, or there is some balance, or they have cheated you in buying raw materials. You want to file a case? Can you file? No, you can't file a case. Why? Because you are not registered. That's why we say that registration of company is compulsory. Okay, so to whom you have to go? You have to go to the registrar of firms, and you have to register your company's name. What will be there? What are the important things that you have to do? First, you need to submit your application. The first step is submitting application. To whom you have to submit? To the registrar. You will be submitting your application. What are the details in it? You will have the name of the firm, name of the partners. Name of firm, partners, the location, nature and size of business, okay, whether it's a small scale or a large scale, what are the partners name, where are they living, okay, each partner when he or she joined the firm, because it's not that everybody joins on the same day. After a few days you can allow someone to be your partner. So you have to mention that the age of each partner. In case if you have a minor partner, you have to mention the age of each partner, and you have to discuss about the duration of of partnership. That also will be given in the application form. How long you will be continuing with the partnership. Okay, and then you have to deposit a fee. For what? For registering a firm, you have to deposit a fee with the registrar of the firms, and then what happens? The registrar will approve your application. You have given an application, right? He or she will approve your application and give you a certificate of registration. You can have it in your office that this is a registered firm. And finally, what? Approval. Okay, and certification. Your name, your company's name will be written. It will be written in the register. Okay, it will be registered. That is, it will be written in the book of firms. So, talking about registration, we discussed about register. It is the process as well as the book. We mentioned the book in which the names of the firms are written. And then registrar is the person who is the authoritative person to register you, to go through your application, to approve it. Okay? And if we don't register, what happens? What are the consequences that we will face? Filing cases will not be possible if you don't register your firm. You will not be able to get any other benefits. No other benefits will be received. Okay? Because as a registered firm, the government at times may give you some benefits. But if you are not registered, there won't be any benefits that you will be getting from the government or any other banks. Alright? Filing cases. In case of filing, what happens? You cannot file a case against your own partner. The firm cannot file the case against its own partner. A partner cannot file a case against the firm, and your firm cannot file a case against another firm or another individual also. Okay, this and this are different children. Here we are talking about another individual who is not your partner. Here we are talking about your own partner. Okay, and you will not be able to get any other benefit. So what is the process of registration? You have to first submit an application to the registrar of the firms. So there you have to mention the name of the firm, who are the partners, what is the place of work, your business address, your office address, as well as the address of all the partners, what is the duration of your partnership firm, what is the nature and size of your business, okay, capital invested, and then your partnership dates, when each one of them have joined as partners in your organization. Then you need to deposit a required fee, which should be mentioned by the registrar. He or she will mention how much fee you have to pay. After paying that, he or she, the registrar, will check up your application, will go through all the details, approve, and then write your name of firm in the register, the book of firms, and give you a certificate of registration. This is the process of registering your partnership firm. Any kind of partnership firm should be registered for having the benefits. If you want to go against someone legally, if you want to file a case against anybody, or you want to get some benefits, then it is essential for you to register your firm. Clear? This is all about partnership. So we have discussed what is partnership form of business organization. We have discussed the features, merits and limitations of partnership firm. We have discussed 6 types of partners. Then we have discussed types of partnership on the basis of duration, on the basis of liability. All this is governed by the Indian Partnership Act 1932. 1932. Okay? And then we have discussed about partnership deed. It is a legal document or the agreement that lets you know about the name of the firm, the location of the firm, and all the other further details about partnership form of business, your partnership. And then registration, we saw who is called a registrar and what is a register. and we discussed what are the consequences we have to face in case if you are not registering your organization, and finally we have discussed the process of registration. Clear? It's a very easy process, you can go through it, and you can register your firms for better use, better or effective working of your management and your organization. So with this we have come to the end of partnership form of business organization. Kindly go through it and understand all the types of partners and types of partnership. Make your own table of types of partners with their variations, okay, for better understanding. Draw a concept map or mind map of your understanding of the topic that we have discussed so far, and in the next class we will be discussing about cooperative societies. Okay, thank you children, and may you all have a wonderful day today.